Let's start way back in the day. I shot a commercial, what was it, 12 years ago? Jordana and Jeff? 10? 8? 10 years ago. So 10 years ago I shot this commercial. It's really funny, but I shot it with Jordy and Jeff Miller, and Benjamin Oberman directed it. So these are all people that I've worked with at some point in time. And really it started with Amina, because if you don't, you know, that kind of a rock. I mean, talk about like an amazing female character, right? Like, right? Woo! Yeah! And so I knew like a lot of the film was going to hinge on that. So I was like, hey, Sophia, what do you think if you, just like, let me read the script, which she changed most of anyway. We have footage of you crossing out whole pages of the script and just like, this is really good, I like this, but this page and this page and this page are not working. I think it'd be summed up in one word, no. But I came to her and really, you know, started working that out. And then, of course, the villain was the next piece. So going to Charlie Boone. And, right? What a bastard. In real life. That's why we're sitting on opposite ends. I hate him. I hate him. No, I'm just kidding. But that was the second like linchpin, and then everybody else, you know, fell into place. Josh and I had worked together before. I love him. I love working with him. And like steel sharpens steel. Like Ken and I talked about casting like right at the get-go that we wanted to make sure we had dedicated actors who could pull it off. And what's great about this film that sets it apart from other independent films, I'm just going to go out on them. Here we go. Stop me. But is that the acting, like on like every level, like everybody was swinging for the fences. You look at like Joffrey, where's Joff? Sketch. You got Willie Warren, you got Sabrina Ravel. Like everybody, Grant Littlefield, you know, the guy is like, yeah man, like whatever, like just give me, you know, give me the drug man, like just give it to me. Big, like everybody really was amazing, like all the way through the cast, and so we focused really hard on that. We had auditions, we had people come in and audition, and they killed it.
Anybody else over here on this side? Yeah, Sophina was sleeping with one of the cast members. Her husband. Remember that? He's like, wait, what? Who?
You got a question? Yeah.
When will the public be able to see it?
Hopefully very soon. Hopefully very soon. You guys are basically really the first. Ooh, is this working? You guys are basically the first people to see the film, really, in its finished stage. So soon. Very soon.
Very soon. Very soon. Very soon. A little kinks and creases that we're still gonna iron out in the film, but it is in its like finished state. We want to share it with everyone. Right here.
Oh, summer 2017. Summer, this lovely lady.
Yes. Not that I know any of you, but you know, being the spouse of the director, I was always amazed. Thank you.
Stand up. Stand up. You put up with his Diet Coke infused craziness for years.
But you know, all of you are incredibly busy, and I was just amazed on how dedicated all of you were to working with Ken and Adam, and especially Henry and Sophina. And so really my question is to you, Henry and Sophina, what really motivated you to take your time out of your day and your family and your life and your work that you do on a daily basis to, you know, help and also work with my husband and Adam?
Henry?
Is it working? Oh, it is. Here you go. Hey, listen to this.
Careful, ladies, you're gonna start sweating.
Well, I mean, you know, Sophina, I wasn't supposed to be part of the script in the beginning, honestly. But Sophina would come home every day with these stories about, oh my gosh, he's doing this and he's doing this. And I was like, really? And it just sounded so fascinating. And I mean, I knew a little bit about the script, and, you know, Adam is just incredibly talented. But I didn't know much about Ken, but then I saw a music video that Ken did. And Sophina said, yeah, he did this with like $20. And I'm telling you, it looked like a $3 million video. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I was just like, every day she would come home and I was like, well, you know, you think they need me in anything? I said, I want to be a part of this, man. And then finally, Adam was like, you know, do you think, I was like, yeah, sure, anything. And I told Ken, I said, I don't care if you want me to be a tree in the next film. Honestly.
Anybody else? Other questions? Who's got questions? Right up here up front. Hey, look at the swim on your face.
That's my son! Hey, no, wait a minute. You wait, son. Stand up.
Leo.
What about the movie Man Down? Did all the cast change, or just some of the cast?
It's a great question, Adam. Why don't you answer that?
Thanks, son.
Wow.
I was listening to that.
Alright, look.
Like, whatever, here we go. Alright, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna purge the demon. Thanks, Leo. You are my son, because that's something I would do. So, yeah, we were developing Man Down, Ken and I, to the extent that Ken had storyboarded the entire film. We had shot scenes, we had done an animated cinematic of the storyboards, we'd done table reads with pretty much everybody in here, like even all of you. Like we all came together and we were working on it. And then it evolved into what it is today. And later, John. Hi, buddy. Love you. What do you think this is? But it did. The project Man Down went to Empower Pictures, and then they started developing it. And the option agreement, you know, got wrapped up in option agreements and things like that, and we had optioned the script. And so Ken and I were still developing and still attached to the project until, you know, they made the decision to go with a different director, as happens. You know, sometimes you write a script and they decide to go with a different writer, and that happens. And so, you know, it ended up being Ditto Montiel, Shia LaBeouf, Kate Mara, Jai Courtney, Gary Oldman, Clifton Collins Jr. It's a beautiful film, and it's an amazing thing. And so Ken and I just, you know, this is the most adaptable Canadian I've ever met in my entire life. You understand why Wolverine comes from Canada when you meet Ken. But we kind of rolled with it. We got hit. We took a punch and we rolled with it and decided to take these incredible people who we had so much love with as family and just roll into our own independent project and just torpedo to be damned. We were going to make a freaking movie together.
Yeah. And really that was, I'll just say, like, because that really is, it's crazy because sometimes I think back a little bit about the few months leading up to the film because we brainstormed the concept, and then within 3 months we were filming the movie. And a lot of that was, you know, the development process on different movies. It's a difficult situation, especially if you invest a lot of yourself into a project and it starts to go a different way. But really, it's just like you have a choice to make at that point. Like, you know, I want to make a movie, and if it's not that movie, then I'll make another movie and still make it the movie that I want to make it. And on a lot of levels, like, I got to direct, I got to shoot the movie, I got to edit it. I'm doing all those things that I really got a chance to, you know, be up to my elbows basically in filmmaking and really tell the story that I wanted to tell. So, you know, regardless of what happens, and it's a normal thing in life, you'll learn as you get older, you know, that things go in a suddenly different direction, and you basically face the choice of like, is that going to stop me from making a movie? This is what I was born to do. You know, you have to believe that. You have to like get into this mindset of like, absolutely nothing will stop me.
And also on that, I mean, with Man Down, there were rewrites that were done once it started moving into production. So I was doing rewrites, I went out to set, I was working with the cast, doing all that stuff. And I got asked this question this morning in Toronto. I'm so tired. But I got asked this question this morning. They said, what's the difference between the two? And I told them, I said, you know, there's less collaboration in a studio film. The machine is moving, they know how to make the decisions and what to do, they do it, and they're good at it, and they're amazing at it, and so they do it. What I loved about this is we were collaborating. It was like the most freest artistic collaboration in every sense of the word. Like everybody had input. Some along one of another's. No, I'm just kidding. But everybody had input on what was happening, and we wanted to hear those voices. What do you think about the character? Okay, you know, and they were, like ego just kind of like went out of the door, and that's why this experience is so special to me.
Does that answer your question? You good?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sweat
For this guy right at the end. How about Charlie Boone right over here? Charlie. An amazing performance. There was a review that came out, I don't know if you guys read it, I think it was from a critic who maybe saw the film at Wizard World in Chicago. An incredible review that just came out last week, and one of the snippets or quotes that jumped out at me, he said, Charlie Boone is one of the best bad guys you're ever gonna see, but you still like him. And so,
Some people.
what did you draw upon, Charlie, to again be so evil?
And then when you have a director that you can totally trust, who you know has your back, when you're going out on a limb, I'll share this in this room, and I'll only share it in this room because I never talk about process, but amongst family and artists. I'm kind of emotional right now, sorry guys. What I just saw up here was just like, wow. But I interviewed 702. It was very, very that important to me. I went to the place that Adam McKinn created, and just like I would a living character, 702 lives in the Synapse universe. And I interviewed him, and he told me what was to be portrayed, not the other way around. So normally you'll go in, we'll break down characters, we'll create their mannerisms, we'll do all. I didn't need to do any of that. I asked 702 questions, and he answered, and the character was there.
Very cool.
Josh Alba, let's give it up for Josh Alba. I mean, kind of same question, but a little bit of a different way, Josh. Obviously, you know, you really have to portray the addict here. And again, in a way that was so relatable, yet with, again, this drug of the future, the MEMS. Can you talk a little bit again about your process on that?
Go.
You know, honestly, like, it comes down to the script. You know, honestly, like, when I was preparing for this role, like, I just wanted to be as honest to who the character was as I could.
and bring some sort of, just bring life to it by, I don't know, like being, I wanted to bring something a little more character to the film, because I knew it was going to be a lot of seriousness, a lot of agents and a lot of that kind of stuff, militant kind of thing. So I wanted to make sure that the audience got something, I guess, a little flavorful, I guess.
You did a lot of real drugs.
Yes, I did. I experimented before I did this. But yeah.
I think, again, a lot of us guys in here can really relate. I thought that moment in that scene where you look at the ultrasound picture.
Yes.
And you realize, you're going to be a dad, see it. That really was moving and touched me and brought me back to when my lovely wife, who's here, that first time when you see, wow, we're really going to have a baby. It's amazing.
You know, that was one of the easiest scenes for me, to be completely honest, because I have 2 kids. True story, like when I was a kid, like probably 10, 12, it's super weird, but I used to like pray to be a young dad. Like I just wanted to be a young dad. Like I wanted to be young and have kids and whatever. And so that kind of stuff is easy for me, because being a father is like the greatest thing in the world. Like I have a son and a daughter, and it's like the best of both worlds. My son's like a total sports nut like me, and my daughter's a total girl dancing and singing. I get the best of both worlds, and it's just like, it's pretty much everything I could ever imagine. So that kind of stuff was easy for me to channel and bring it to the screen.
Awesome. Will Rubio. The other cool quote in the review that came out just last week is how Will brings that much needed comic relief, but in just the proper dosage. Will is really a comedian, really by trade, up to this point. And talk a little bit about, again, that, how do you strike the balance in a movie like this to, in some ways you got to hold back a little bit, right? Hold back, you don't want to turn the thing too far on the comedic side, but yet you hit it just right. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, there was very kind words in the review. One of the things it said was youtube.com/willreviewcomedy.
There you go. What was that?
No, I'm not going to say you.
No, the mic cut out. I think you need to say it.
Will Review Comedy. No, willreviewcomedy.com. Just Google Will Review. No, it was cool. Adam kind of, basically told me, hey, I wrote this script with you in mind, and one of the cool things that Adam strived to achieve with this script that he said many times, I've heard him say many times, is just not necessarily colorblind casting, but just having people of color or ethnicity and just portray them as real humans. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this is the Latin guy, oh, this is, it's just a collection of people. And just like in real life, where we associate and hang out with people of all walks of life. And I think that's much to his credit for doing that, particularly in an industry that is very, pigeonholed and typecast and stuff like that. As far as your question, yeah, I just love the opportunity to make people laugh. But as a comedian, as you see with a lot of comedians, like they ultimately always strive to do the dramatic stuff towards the end of their career, or not the end, but they try to transition to that because this is I'm on my way down. Because you feel that same emotion, and oftentimes comedians are comedy comes from pain, and so it was like cool because the first time you see me on screen, I'm able to get this like goofiness out and like, oh, that's kind of funny and be silly, and then boom, the script enables me to, okay, now let's get serious and now let's do it, and just add those little injections of humor. So yeah, I mean, a great script. Yeah, I was able to show the William Rubio instead of the Will Rubio. That's great. I'm going to use that. I'm going to put that in my blog.
He's got another one right here, Mr. Eric Eister.
What's
Congratulations, you guys. I got to see this at the very beginning. But a couple questions. First of all, I'm stunned at how amazing you brought the scenes out at the Herald Examiner Film Studio. I know every nook and cranny of that building, and you guys just did a beautiful job.